Phil Key and Bo Keene now at midfield.
Brian, it looks like the turf could be a factor. The offense, you want to keep the ball if you can and be patient on offense, because one slip of the foot and you got a layup to the goal most likely here today.
Very soft turf, very loose. Rained off and on during the week. The Mount controls the face-off. On the attack is Willie Hoffman. Cross-court pass, cross-field pass to McNulty. Looking for help on the far sideline now. Both teams showing some patience with on the offensive end so far. Ted Graves coming up with it momentarily for Western Maryland. Now he loses it along the near side. This is Mark Mosmiller for Mount St. Mary's, getting it out to his teammate. Pass broken up momentarily by Western Maryland's John Brine. McNulty. This is Matt Mundorf behind the cage. Mundorf penetrating. Goes down, gets the shot off somehow. Now Western Maryland coming the other way. Rob Snyder. This is Dave McCook. Gets it out to Howard. Howard's shot is deflected. Nice save by Plott. Now the Mount control momentarily.
You're going to notice that the penalty box is a busy area. What is happening right now is they're trying to get Mount St. Mary's is trying to get their offensive middies in and out, and long sticks are coming in for Western Maryland. So a lot of strategy, which sort of takes down away the transition game at this point. And we're still waiting for the penalty box to clear out. They say it's the fastest sport on 2 feet. Sometimes I wonder.
Plott now will take it himself. Up ahead to McNulty. Looking for some help. McNulty now on the far side. Getting it to Brian King. Now Brian Miller. Jerry French. Back to Miller. Miller penetrating. Looking for a shot. It's good. Brian Miller makes it 2-0, and in the early going, the Mount has the control. 10:28 to go in the first quarter. 2-0 Mountaineers.
That was a real nice goal by Miller of Mount St. Mary's. He just sort of penetrated on the right-hand side, and he made a real nice bounce shot over the off shoulder of the Western Maryland goalkeeper, Jim Bachman. That's what you want to teach your midfielders, a nice bounce shot. A lot of people like to shoot the ball in the air, but you basically play catch, Bo. That puts Mount St. Mary's up by 2, and Western Maryland, they better one more, Brian. We might be looking for a timeout here to slow down old man Mo.
Joe Cardisco will now face off for the Mount against Phil Key of Towson. That was Brian Miller's second goal of the year. 2-0 Mountaineers. Key having some problems in his area. We get a whistle on the far side.
Okay, what we have is on the face-off, there was no possession called, and Blue had stepped over, Mount St. Mary's had stepped over the restraining line. As a result, Western Maryland will obtain possession on their offensive end of the field once they clear it.
This is Fernari, picked up by Keene. Pass down to Bill Hallett, the all-time leading scorer at Western Maryland College. He's penetrating. Getting checked momentarily by Bachman.
It's like all of Mount St. Mary's met him around that corner there.
They're really going to key on Hallett today. He has problems with it along the end line, turns it over, and the defense does the job for Mount St. Mary's.
Real nice defensive effort. It looks like Mount St. Mary's is sitting in a little zone out front, and when Hallett comes around either one of the pipes, he's going to be greeted by 2 men in blue jerseys, and it's a real smart defensive move by Coach Kilgore right now.
At that time it was John Weiss doing the damage defensively and forcing the turnover. The Mount right now under 10 minutes to play in the first period. They lead 2-0.
A little breakdown here on the ride by Western Maryland. Possible fast break situation.
Mosmiller with the ball. His pass intended for teammate Jerry French over the head of French. Western Maryland in the MAC's Western Division, they have a 1-1 divisional record. 2-4 overall. Mount St. Mary's 2-3. These two teams met last year. It was a 17-8 Mount St. Mary's victory over in Emmitsburg. In fact, the Mount have won the last 4 meetings between these two ball clubs. The Mount, a Division I independent school. On the attack now, Brian Miller. Gets it out to Brian King. King with a couple of goals this year. Back to Miller. Miller takes a shot. It's wide to the right.
It's a real nice screen on the crease by Mount St. Mary's. If you notice on defense, Western Maryland's using the 6 long sticks in there, and I should say the 5 long sticks, which makes it tough for Mount St. Mary's to operate on the midfield area.
Matt Mundorf with the ball right now. He's guarded by Carroll. Pass to French. It's broken up. Nicely done by goaltender Backman. Dave Rosenberger having it momentarily taken away by Mundorf. Now the Mount come the other way. It's a Joe Cordisco. Back to Mundorf. A new player coming in, Brian King, back into the game. He has the ball right now. And now the Mount showing patience on the offensive end.
Mount St. Mary's is set up in a 2-3-1 offensive look. They tend to work a lot with their attackmen back here with McNulty and Mundorf.
And right now, Brian of Western Maryland guarding McNulty. McNulty's pass in the midfield area, middle of the field area. Broken up, Brian King coming out with it for the Mount. Pass down to Mundorf. His shot off the post. Just missing his second opportunity. And now the Western Maryland coming the other way. This is Mike Fulham. Fulham to Fenari. His shot is good, and Western Maryland has scored. 2-1, the Mount leads it with 8:02 to play in the first quarter.
That was a tremendous athletic move by Fulham of Western Maryland. He dodged 3 or 4 people, was getting checked on the shoulder and the back, and finally dished it off to a real pretty goal there on Western Maryland's behalf, which I think is now going to give them a little bit more confidence once they broke the ice with that first goal.
And Fulham getting his 10th goal of the year. A good individual effort, as you said. Cuts the lead in half, 2-1, with 8:02 to play in the first period. And Bo Keane back in to square off with Phil Key. First quarter action. We're expecting a pretty close ball game. It's a 1-goal game right now.
Western Maryland right now would like to get the face-off and may get a quick fast break. We might see it now, Brian.
Phil Key, who's controlled 70% of his face-offs, does it here. And Western Maryland on the attack. Dave McCook inside to Howard, broken up by Plott. Plott now with the ball behind his cage. The Mount showing patience once again.
And here we go again, Brian. Everybody's coming through the penalty box, and Mount St. Mary's will set up for their clear while the Green Pears will set their ride. Very patient clear here by the Mounts.
A couple times they've done that this afternoon.
Ooh. Try to thread the needle in the middle of the field. Didn't work out too well.
Down near the cage, Backman.
Okay, again, the ball is loose in the crease area, but Mount St. Mary's interfered with the goalkeeper, Jim Bachman, and Western Maryland will have the ball and will be clearing the ball.
Second time that's happened today, and
they're pretty aggressive in the crease area.
Walton gets it to Backman. Back to Walton, who has problems. The Mount now with a pretty good opportunity. Western Maryland, Mike Fulham again.
He's a dodger.
He is really putting on a show so far. Good individual efforts. His pass up ahead is broken up. Now Plott will clear it.
That's a real nice look by Plott.
John Weiss now, the defenseman, across the midfield area. Backman again, just inside the crease, making the save. Here come the Green Terrors. Ball pass up to Fornari, now across the middle. This is Fulham. To Mark Melvin. Howlett now, behind the cage. Hallett trying to tie it up, and he does so. Bill Hallett. 4 goals Wednesday, 8 goals last Sunday. He ties it up. 5:58 to play in period number 1. We're tied at 2.
That was a pretty move by Hallett. He brought his defender up high on the right-hand side, and he did a real nice inside roll, which is a technique that you're taught when you're about 6 years old with the stick, and he perfected.
Scoring his 146th career goal, an all-time record here at Western Maryland College.
I guess we'd say he has a nose for the goal, huh?
All-American honorable mention last year in Division III, All-MAC for the past 2 years. They face off, and key controls once again for Western Maryland. Jeff Downer with the ball. Up ahead to Dave McCook. Now it's Hallett once again. Back to McCook.
And Mount St. Mary's has changed their D. They're playing man-to-man right now, a little bit different than the first 5-6 minutes of the ball game.
We get a whistle here, and the Mount will get the ball.
And what we have an illegal substitution through the box down here that the third referee caught, and as a result, Western Maryland will have possession of the ball. Again, Brian, that penalty box is a very busy area because of the specialization in the game of college lacrosse day with long sticks, short sticks, offensive people, face-off people, etc.
Joe Stankiewicz right now with possession for the Mount. Down to 5:20 to play in the first period, 2-2. Plott now out to Weiss. John Weiss across midfield.
I think Mount St. Mary's right now, they might want to get the ball and get some possession and settle. They've been sort of forcing the ball to the crease, and it's been up and down the field, and when they settled early in the game, they got a couple nice goals.
Stankiewicz to McNulty. McNulty behind the cage. Light drizzle beginning to fall here. Get a shot on goal. It's broken up by Back, and now he's controlling it inside the crease. Behind his cage now, trying to clear it. Gets now to Walton. Here comes Western Maryland. They have contact at midfield. Possession for Western Maryland.
Right. If the ball was loose, it was hit from behind by Mount St. Mary's. As a result, it's a loose ball, and it'll be possession given to Western Maryland.
Rosenberger made the collision at midfield. He comes off now. And now Western Maryland on the attack. Up ahead to Hallett. Hallett playing catch with Mazurts right now. Over to McCook, now back to Hallett. Again, both teams showing patience. We're tied at 2. This is Dave McCook now along the near side. Hallett back to Mike Fulham, who scored once today. Fulham and Hallett scoring the 2 goals so far for Western Maryland. Fulham funding off his defender, gets the shot off, it's wide left. Hallett and Carroll do battle. Fulham gets in on the action, and here comes Mount St. Mary's, long clear. Intended for Charlie Horning, over the head of Horning.
Mike Fulham from Western Maryland's a real strong kid. He's almost like a fire plug. I noticed that he's from John Carroll School and up in Baltimore. I guess we'd say Hartford County, I should say. And Mr. Hallett from Western Maryland, he's from John Carroll. So
quite a few players on the field today from John Carroll. Western Maryland's Craig Warner and Jeff Downer as well.
Got a little mist coming out, Brian. We might have an ice rink shortly.
Well, these two teams try to get it in back on the 18th of March, and the skies caved in about 15 minutes before game time. Now we're having a light shower. The breeze is blowing across field right now.
And again, this rainy weather, I think, is a tremendous advantage to the offense. So either team, if they could get that ball on the offense, settle it down, and make a little one-on-one move to the goal, you should be in good shape. It's a real nice clear by Western Maryland. We have a flag on the field, Brian.
Western Maryland on the attack right now.
Okay, we have a slash by number 29 on Mount St. Mary's, and as a result, this will be our first extra man situation for Western Maryland, and Mount St. Mary's will be down a man. So we'll have to see if Coach Williams has a nifty little play here to maybe get a quick banger here to go up by 1.
Chris Daniels committing the infringement. He's in the cage in the box right now. Now a man advantage for the Green Terrors.
Western Maryland lined up in a 3-3, now into a 2-3-1. Mount St. Mary's playing a zone down 1D.
Mazeritz having some problems. Finally gaining control. We get a shot on goal, it's off to the left. And Plott comes up with it for the Mount. This is Mosmiller now.
Again, the penalty box is busy.
Weiss and Plott playing catch right now. Daniel still in the box. 2:06 to play in the first period. We're still tied at 2.
Western Maryland got a real nice shot there off of their 1-4-1 offense, but unfortunately for the Green Terrors, it didn't break the nets. Didn't dent the nets, we should say.
This is John Weiss. Now up ahead. Willie Hoffman on the attack for Mount St. Mary's. Hoffman looking for help. Gets to Charlie Horning. He's guarded by Walton. This is Mundorf. He's guarded by Carroll right now. Mundorf cutting behind the cage. Mundorf guarded by Heritage, gets it away. This is Jerry French with 8 goals on the year so far.
Okay, Mount St. Mary's is calling a blue play. There's less than a minute, and you usually see a couple plays called here. Maybe get a one-on-one or a dodge, and get a quick shot from Mount St. Mary's. Just what they called.
That's right. Stankiewicz shot off to the left, and we're down to 53 seconds to play in the first quarter.
A lot of times in lacrosse, you'll see a coach maybe call a timeout with a minute to go, but nowadays a lot of teams line up in the zone, so you call your play while the action's still continuing. And this gave now Western Maryland a chance to put their long sticks in.
A shot and a score from Matt Mundorf. Mount St. Mary's. Mundorf breaking the ice, and it's a 3-2 ball game. The Mount with the lead with 42 seconds to play in the first.
For Mundorf, that was a tremendous individual athletic move. He basically did about 3 or 4 roll dodges and fought it off and put the ball on the far right-hand side of the cage. A real tough move.
And it's his 14th goal of the year, and the Mount with a 3-2 lead. It's Keene and Key once again at midfield. Phil Key has controlled the last 2 face-offs.
And that's just what the doctor called for, to get that goal right before the end of the quarter.
Well
Mount St.
executed.
Mary's.
Phil Key. Phil Key to Fenari. His pass intended for Fulham, no good. Plott comes up with it for the Mount. We're down to 15 seconds to play in the first quarter.
That's a tremendous check by Weiss.
A loose ball in front of the cage, picked up by Key. His shot is no good. Nicely done by Mosmiller to make the save as Plott was screened. Here comes the Mount, but it's too late as the first period expires. But a good execution there in the last minute of play, and it's Mount St. Mary's on top. We've played 1 quarter so far, 3 more to play, and our score from Scott Bear Stadium at Western Maryland College. It's now the Mount 3, Western Maryland 2. We'll be back.
Would you like to play tennis and have fun? Blue Ridge Tennis Camp, located at Mount St. Mary's College in Emmitsburg, Maryland, features lessons for both juniors and adults from a staff of skilled professionals. Perhaps you're a beginner who wants to develop your game, or you might want to become a serious tournament player. Enjoy daily private coaching and videotaped analysis. Sound exciting? Call Blue Ridge Tennis Camp and come to the mountains to play. 1-week sessions, 2-hour mini camp weeks, or daily lessons are available.
Here at Heissens, we're not high pressure. We're not low pressure. We're no pressure. Heissens doesn't have any glitz or glitter, but we do have beautiful, comfortable, well-constructed furniture that's guaranteed and fairly priced. And we'll be here for you tomorrow. We've already been around for nearly 75 years. Heissens Fine Furniture and Appliances. Still family run, still on Main Street in Hampstead, and still growing.
Back at Bear Stadium here at Western Maryland College, Brian McLean and Randy Dace. And after one quarter of play, the Mount leading Western Maryland right now 3-2. Mount St. Mary's, they are 2-3 coming into this game. They've lost to College Park, Dartmouth, and Gettysburg, and their 2 wins over Radford and St. Mary's. We're ready to go in period number 2. Western Maryland now will shoot at the goal to our left. Phil Key and Keene. This time it's the Mount controlling. This is Stankiewicz. Gets it to Willie Hoffman. Hoffman guarded by Fulham. Gets it over to Charlie Horning. He's guarded by Key. Charlie Horning looking for some help. Gets it to Hoffman. Back to Stankiewicz. Stankiewicz's shot is just off to the left. Nicely done by Backman.
That's a real nice offensive movement by Mount St. Mary's. Swing the ball around the backside. And Jim Bachman of Western Maryland, that was a perfect save. He was right on the ball. And the long sticks are coming in for Western Maryland.
Something Coach Williams discussed with us before the game. Shot off to the left. Coming up to midfield, the Mount controlling the ball right now, still with the possession, Willie Hoffman. Roll dodge by Hoffman to the near side. Horning down to French. French around the Cook. French takes a shot and it's good. 4-2 Mount St. Mary's. I beg your pardon, Matt Mundorf with the goal for the Mount.
Again, another tremendous athletic move by Mundorf, coming around the right-hand side of the cage, an inside roll, and again putting the ball on target. Mount St. Mary's really looks for their 3 attackmen, French, Mundorf, and McNulty to get the goals for them right here.
And Mundorf, the junior from Mount St. Joe's, it's now a 2-goal game, just under 14 minutes to play in the first half. 4-2, Mount St. Mary's. And they face off once again, the same 2. It's Keene and Key, Phil Key for Western Maryland. Coming down now in the Western Maryland zone. This is Bill Howett now, along the near side. Pass intended for Sandstrom was broken up, and now here come the Mount. McNulty again. 4 players battling for the ball. Back out to French now. French sets up the offense.
Right now, Mount St. Mary's is really dominating the second quarter with the ball on offense, putting a lot of pressure on Western Maryland's defense. I sort of feel momentum hedging their way. If they get a goal right now, I think Western Maryland might want to talk about a few things that break the momentum.
This is McNulty on the attack. Shot is no good over the cage. And a Green Terror down right now.
What we have is Mike McNulty of Mount St. Mary's. Pretty sure they have him stepping in the crease. And one of the defenders for Western Maryland's down.
Scott Walton.
Scott Walton.
He was up momentarily, now he's back down on the knee. Some assistants coming over to check him out.
On a raw day like this, a good bang, you feel everything through it from the head to the toenails.
It is a raw day. Temperatures in the 40s. Rain threatening, a light breeze blowing. And right now, with 12:45 to play in the first half, as Scott Walton will come over to the sideline. The Mountaineers leading Western Maryland right now 4-2. When play resumes, it'll be Green Terror possession.
Green Terror setting up their clear. They basically have what we call a 4-across clear with 1 midfielder down with the goalkeeper and 3 middies across the center of the field.
Dave Heritage over to Backman. Here comes Western Maryland, Mike Mazeritz.
Very nice clear.
Very nice pass. Mike Fulham, who's got a goal already, takes a shot as wide to the right. And the Green Terrors maintain possession.
Mike Fulham is everywhere.
He's been all over the field.
He's getting ground balls. He gets the shots.
Dave McCook now with the possession. Gets it over to Bill Hallett. Western Maryland trying to cut that lead to 1. Right now, Clark Hospelhorn into the game for the first time. He's picked up by Keene. Here was McCook looking for Hallett. Gets it to him. Now the Green Terror showing patience. Nice save by Plott. And the Mount will control possession. Good effort there by Plott, making the save, and it's still a 4-2 game.
That was a real nice offensive segment there for Western Maryland. They had a lot of ball movement. They had a nice shot. There was a screen on the goalie. Unfortunately, nobody was back in the cage, and that gave Mount St. Mary's Plott the opportunity to chase it down the end line, and now they'll control it with their clear, and Western Maryland will be setting up their ride.
Willie Hoffman gets it up to John Weiss. Weiss up ahead to Mosmiller. Here comes Mosmiller. Saved by Backman. Here come the Green Terrors.
That's a real nice fast break, but Western Maryland's defense hung in tight, and goalkeeper Jim Bachman, excellent save.
Ted Gray's pass deflected. Mark Fesh cannot complete the job. Fesh goes down. He's hammered by Carroll. Keene gets it up ahead to Mosmiller. Charlie Horning having some problems. Gets it back.
That was a tremendous pass, and look on the other side of the field by laying down.
Once again, John Weiss getting it to his goaltender.
Brian, you can feel that a lot of emotion between these two schools. Who's going to win there? I'm seeing 190% hustle everywhere, which I love to see in a lacrosse game.
Mount St. Mary's just down the road, Division I school and an independent school. Play their home games in Emmitsburg. Green Terrors have it broken up momentarily. Going down for the Mountaineers is Matt Mundorf. We get a whistle.
What we have is a trip by number 13, John Byrne of Western Maryland. This will put Mount St. Mary's in the extra man situation the first time today's game at 10:26 of the second quarter.
Byrne off, so a man advantage for the Mountaineers. First time they've had that luxury today. They're on the attack right now. Matt Mundorf to French.
Mount St. Mary's line up in a little 3-3.
Shot by Keene, a little too tall. And the Mount with possession right now, McNulty.
It's sort of fun to watch extra man offense. Some people have a lot of design plays they spend all night, or others will go to a 1-4 or 2-3 and just look to bang the ball to get the good shot in the seams. Again, Mount St. Mary's is in a 3-3 alignment.
Pass intended for Horning, too tall.
That
and a
turns,
break for Western Maryland.
And coach's hair turn a little gray when that happens, when you're an extra and you throw the ball out of bounds. Yeah, we have a few different whistles going right now, Brian. I think we have a little confusion.
Clark Hospelhorn with the possession momentarily. We have a couple of fouls.
It's on a technical foul on Mount St. Mary's, and this is going to put Western Maryland on extra man offense now. And the mounts from Emmitsburg, the mountings from Emmitsburg will be on the down 1D. Be a good situation now for Western Maryland to cash in to get the first goal in the second quarter.
Fenari to his brother Joe.
The Fenari brothers are both from Lock Raven out of Baltimore County. Excellent athletes, football players and lacrosse players.
Joe was an all-Baltimore County player in high school. Has it broken up momentarily. Hospelhorn losing it. Gets it back.
Coach Williams just had a semi-heart attack dropping that ball in an extra man situation.
Bill Hallett to Fenari. Here comes Hospelhorn. Having it broken up, and now Plott with it, clearing it for Mount St. Mary's. See the effects of the field there with the bounce. McNulty. Across to Chris Daniels.
And you'll see Mount St. Mary's hold the ball right now so they can get their offensive personnel on the field.
This is Charlie Horning along the near side. Picked up by Hospelhorn as it broken up. And now in the hands of Backman. Contact made at near midfield. Now we have a loose ball push assessed. And Western Maryland will have possession. 8:45 to play in the half. The Mountaineers still leading 4-2.
A little bit too much transition right now, up and down for both teams. They're dropping the ball at one end and they're back up and forth the field. One team's going to have to settle now and put the pressure on the defense. And when Mount St. Mary's has done that, they've scored, and same with Western Maryland. But right now, it's a little bit too much up and down the field on loose ball action.
This is Jeff Downer for Western Maryland. And the Green Terror setting up the offense. Gonna get it to Bill Hallett. Now Keene coming up with it for the Mountaineers. Up ahead to McNulty. McNulty battles for it.
It's a little sloppy right now,
Things are a little
Brian.
sloppy right now at midfield. Both clubs having trouble with possession. Could be the field, Randy, possibly?
It's a field. I also think it's the emotions.
And a goal for Mount St. Mary's, Brian Miller. 5-2.
You'd have to say Brian Miller was at the right place at the right time. Just sort of hanging around the crease. Ball came loose and a nice pass. And Western Maryland, it's a real nice timeout by Coach Williams. 3 goals, you don't want to see the 4th one come. You're going to have to talk about things right now.
Miller, his 2nd goal today, his 3rd goal of the season, a timeout on the field, and we'll take a timeout as well. 7:57 to play in the first half, and our score from Scott Bear Stadium. It's now Mount St. Mary's 5, Western Maryland 2.
Avenue Taylor Bridal and Tuxedo Shops, located in Martins, Westminster, and in Martins, West Baltimore, has all the popular gowns, as shown in 17 magazines. We have all the tuxedo styles by Christian Dior, After 6, and Pierre Cardin, as well as fashion ties, cummerbunds, in many colors to match your date's gown. Doesn't your prom or special occasion deserve the security of our Avenue Taylor's experience?
Here at Heissens, we're not high pressure. We're not low pressure. We're no pressure. Heissens doesn't have any glitz or glitter, but we do have beautiful, comfortable, well-constructed furniture that's guaranteed and fairly priced. And we'll be here for you tomorrow. We've already been around for nearly 75 years. Heissens Fine Furniture and Appliances. Still family run, still on Main Street in Hampstead, and still growing.
We're back at Western Maryland College. Brian McLean along with Randy Dace. And Coach, I think I need a timeout there by Coach Williams. Like you said, momentum shifting there a little bit for Mount St. Mary's. Western Maryland calls their first timeout.
Perfect timeout. As a coach myself, I'm always worried about if I'm losing, when I'm going to get the timeout to break the momentum. And if you're winning, you're hoping the other coach falls asleep so you can just keep on plowing on or continue on.
Bo Keene and Phil Key will face off. And Phil Key controls it again for Western Maryland. Here come the Green Terrors.
We have a flag on the field, too.
Bill Hallett to Fenari. Fenari cutting behind the cage. Pass intended out for Jeff Downer, and now we have Action stopped. A slashing call.
We have a slashing call on Mount St. Mary's. Brian Miller with the slash, and this will put Western Maryland on extra man offense, and just what you want at this time.
A big opportunity here to cut that lead to 2. Right now it's 5-2.
Western Maryland's lineup again looks like a 3-3, which they'll probably cut into a 2-3 to a 1-4. Looking for the high percentage shot.
Bill Howard out to Hospelhorn, down to Fenari. On the far side, this is the other Fenari.
There's your 1-4, looking out front for the shot.
Mazurek takes the shot, it's wide to the right.
And another gray hair for Coach Williams. Both teams on extra man now have thrown the ball away and haven't really got the shot off that really hurts you.
Not taking advantage of the opportunities when they've come.
Yes. Must capitalize on those opportunities.
Now it's Mount St. Mary's possession. Willie Hoffman ready to get things going when play resumes.
Having a few problems down in the penalty box area. I'll tell you, one of the most important aspects of any team is the managers and statisticians, and referee want to talk to the managers and scorekeeper down there. They got a tough job. Everybody's yelling and screaming, and they're trying to get the horn going, and we're back in action now, Brian.
Fulham into the game for Hospelhorn for Western Maryland. Here comes Hoffman along the near side, being checked by Fenari. And we get a holding call against Western Maryland's Vince Fenari.
Fenari brought that stick around the throat of the Mounties, and as a result, it'll be a hold, and Fenari's going to have to pay his penalty in the box.
It's another break against Western Maryland. The bench does not like it, but however, that is the case. And the Mount now with possession and a 5-2 lead. Down to 7:15 to play in the first half.
And so far today, I don't think any extra mans have cashed in yet, so looking for the opportunity.
Horning right now picked up by Downer. Gets to Mundorf. We have a flag, couple flags down. Shot too tall, McNulty over the cage.
What a crank by McNulty. It's probably down in Finksburg, isn't it? I don't know my directions here, but...
Hit the cars over there. Mike Fulham will go off for slashing for Western Maryland. Fulham, who's played an aggressive game today.
Now, Western Maryland's in a real difficult situation now. They're going to be down 2 men, and the Mounts must score in this situation.
Big situation here for Mount St. Mary's.
They're in a 2-2 alignment.
Willie Hoffman. McNulty. This is Hoffman again. Out to French. The Mount trying to set things up. Walton breaking things up momentarily. This is French. French's shot is off to the right. Again, the Mount having trouble getting their offense in gear. McNulty now will take possession.
Now Western Maryland's only down 1 man now.
McNulty's shot is good. Mike McNulty, the junior from Loyola. It's 6-2 Mount St. Mary's with 6:24 to play in the first half.
Nice hard shot by McNulty. Interesting, Brian, they're down 2 men, and Mount St. Mary's cannot score once they're only down 1. They finally snuck the ball in the cage.
And Mike McNulty, who had 18 points, 11 goals, and 7 assists coming into the day, is another one. 2 to his credit this afternoon. And it's a 4-goal game right now, 6-2 the Mount.
Western Maryland needs to control this face-off. Key's done a nice job so far today.
And now they do battle for it, and the Mount having possession momentarily. Keene still fighting for it. Key has it momentarily. Now Walton along the far side. And it will be Mount St. Mary's possession.
Things have been a little quiet for Western Maryland right now. And it's coming towards the half. You want to try to pick up a little momentum going into the half. They could just use a goal or 2 here, but unfortunately they haven't seen the ball in the last several minutes or so.
Ted Graves and Raul Galindo into the game for the first time for Western Maryland. Here come the Mountaineers. This is Brian Miller. Down to McNulty, who just scored moments ago. McNulty trying to get around his defender, looking for some help. Pass not handled by Cordisco. Along the end line, we have a whistle, and it'll be Western Maryland possession. Not a bad defensive play there by Ted Graves.
That's a nice play by Graves. Fought for the ground ball and then a little push, and as a result, Western Maryland will have possession. They'll be clearing the ball. I'm impressed with Western Maryland's goalkeeper, Bachman. He's had some key saves. This score could be a little bit higher than it is right now.
He has it right now. Looking for help. Gets it up ahead. This is John Brine. Back to Bachman.
Mount St. Mary's putting a little pressure on the right here, having their attackman chase Western Maryland's close defense and goalkeeper.
Bachman will carry it himself. Up ahead to Hospelhorn. Here come the Green Terrors on the attack. Hospelhorn dodging around one man. Hospelhorn out to Fulham. Fulham's shot is off to the left and no good. Fulham being collapsed upon by 3 defenders. And we have a push-off called against the Mount. And Western Maryland maintains possession. Chris Daniels committing the infringement.
Western Maryland looks up well. There are a couple men wide open there. Fawn was open on the crease. Right now, though, I would hope that they might want to settle it down and make the Mounties play a little bit of defense. They haven't been on D for a while, and maybe get the cleaner shot.
Jeff Downer now into the game. Green Terrors on the attack momentarily has it broken up. Now Fernari for Western Maryland.
That was a tremendous check by Mosmiller at Mount St. Mary's on the overhead check. He looks like a pretty strong kid.
Right now it's Bill Howlett looking for help. McCook cutting to the right. Bill Howlett is guarded by Carroll. Howlett. And we have a goal for Western Maryland. The Green Terrors finally breaking the ice. And Joe Fenari making the score now 6-3. Fenari, the freshman from Loch Raven High School.
That was a real nice look by Bill Howlett of Western Maryland to Joe Fenari in the crease. He had a lot of pressure on him, and just looked up, and Joe snuck in the backside, and that's a pretty little play. Just what Western Maryland needs right now. If you notice, they finally settled it down and got the good shot, and
they didn't rush anything. They took their time.
Need about 3 more goals like that, and they'll be in nice shape.
Fenari with his 16th goal of the year. It's now 6-3 with 4:13 to play in the first half. Once again, Key controlling that face-off.
Key's tough on that face-off.
This is Mazeritz. Mazeritz taking it, McCook taking it himself. Shot is off to the left. They scramble forward. This is Howlett. Hallett's pass to Fenari. And the Green Terrors now going to try and be patient once again. It worked for them in their last possession. Up to Hospelhorn, to Fulham, who has 2 goals today. Fulham is guarded by Keene. Fulham shot inside, broken up. And once again, we get a whistle.
We got a trip on Mount St. Mary's, and another great advantage for Western Maryland to be up a man here for 1 minute.
Mosmiller committing the penalty for for Mount St. Mary's, so a 60-second man advantage now for Western Maryland. A big break here.
The tide has changed in the last minute and a half here. Hopefully for the Green Terrors, they could cash in right now.
Hospelhorn, Fenari, both Fenaris along with Howlett on the offense right now. This is Howlett.
We'll see him now probably move into a 1-4 on the offense.
Howlett to McCook, to Hospelhorn. Hospelhorn out to
looking for the
Fenari.
backdoor cut. Wasn't there. They were nice and patient. Unfortunately, a drop ball.
Bo Keene breaking things up. 2 guys go down. We have a whistle now. And we'll see what the infringement will be. We have a push off.
We have a push on Western Maryland which will be a 30-second penalty. So right now both teams are down a man, but as soon as Mount St. Mary's gets the ball in the box area, they'll be up a man.
Craig Warner, number 4, the freshman midfielder from John Carroll, committing the penalty. Just over 3 minutes to play in the first half. The Mount right now ahead 6-3. And they're on the attack. This is Hoffman.
Okay, now Mount St. Mary's is now on their extra man with Western Maryland down 1 man for 30 seconds.
McNulty to French. Back to Hoffman. Crossfield pass across the crease. Not picked up by McNulty. The Green Terrace with the break. Backman having some problems along the near side. Gets control of it. Up ahead now to Fulham.
Real nice look.
Nice pass. Pass intended for Fenari, picked off. You have a collision momentarily in midfield. To come Mount St. Mary's. McNulty looking for some help. Up ahead to Hoffman. And a shot and a score by Charlie Horning, the attackman now midfielder. Charlie Horning with goal number 7 for Mount St. Mary's. They lead it 7-3 with 2:11 to play in the first half.
It's a real nice look inside to Charlie Horning. And that sort of broke the Terrors' back there. They just had a chance to score an extra man. It came down, had a penalty, and now Mount St. Mary's sneaks the goal in, and now they're down by 4. And another, I think, a smart timeout by Coach Williams here.
Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. Coming down on halftime. 2 minutes and 11 seconds to play now in period number 2. And our score is now the Mountaineers 7, the Green Terrors 3. We'll be back.
Would you like to play tennis and have fun? Blue Ridge Tennis Camp, located at Mount St. Mary's College in Emmitsburg, Maryland, features lessons for both juniors and adults from a staff of skilled professionals. Perhaps you're a beginner who wants to develop your game, or you might want to become a serious tournament player. Enjoy daily private coaching and videotaped analysis. Sound exciting? Call Blue Ridge Tennis Camp and come to the mountains to play. 1-week sessions, 2-hour mini-camp weeks, or daily lessons are available.
He flew through the air with the greatest of disaster struck. Now, in a death-defying pay-per-view cable TV extravaganza, Evel Knievel's son Robbie attempts to succeed where evil and daredevil Gary Wells failed. Successfully leap the fountains at Caesar's Palace. Like father, like son, it all depends on the landing. Friday, April 14th, live, only on pay-per-view cable TV.
Witness Daredevil history in the making live on Viewer's Choice.
Along with Randy Dace, I'm Brian McLean. It's college lacrosse today from the Hill at Western Maryland College. 2 minutes and 11 seconds to play in the first half. And the Mount now with the lead, a game that we've seen the momentum shift several times. And the Mountaineers right now on top by 4, 7-3. Dave McCook and Bo Keene will square off at midfield. And McCook along the far side having some problems. They struggle forward. Now here comes Mount St. Mary's. McNulty setting up the offense for Mount St. Mary's. Under 2 minutes to play, 1:50 to play in the first half. This is Mundorf. Up ahead to Hoffman. Shot just left of the goal.
Mount St. Mary's is very unselfish. They're always looking into the crease area to try to get the layup inside. You might see a couple called plays down here with under 1:30 to go. Try to get an easy shot.
Shot is taken by French. It's no good. Controlled now by Backman. Up ahead to Walton.
Great outlook by Backman.
A little rush there, but Bill Howell will scramble for it, but he does not come up with it. Hoffman does for Mount St. Mary's.
Mount St. Mary's defensemen do a nice job keeping their sticks up in the passing lanes on those quick outlet passes.
Shot is taken off the post. No good. Mount St. Mary's cannot convert.
Tremendous save by Bachman.
French to McNulty. They scramble for it just in front of the crease.
A great check by Walton on the crease by Western Maryland, too.
Good defensive player. The unsung hero from last year, and an infringement right now called against the Green Terrors.
Very typical. Coach Kilgore, I knew, had 2 timeouts left. He's going to use 1, call the troops in, set up a little play, and if that doesn't work, he'll probably call another timeout. So you're seeing a little bit of basketball strategy, like it's the last minute to go in the game.
48 seconds to play in the first half. We'll take another timeout here on Prestige Cablevision Sports. Our score from Scott Bear Stadium. It's Mount St. Mary's 7, Western Maryland 3.
Avenue Taylor Bridal Shops, located in Martins, Westminster, and in Martins, West Baltimore, has all the popular gowns as shown in 17 magazine. We have all the tuxedo styles by Christian Dior, After Six, and Pierre Cardin, as well as fashion ties, cummerbunds, in many colors to match your date's gown. Doesn't your prom or special occasion deserve the security of our Avenue Taylor's experience?
Cruiser War 89, the venues, 5 action-packed championship fights. First, an IBF Cruiserweight World Championship battle. See Patrick Lumumba and Anthony Witherspoon go to war for the title. Then it's Alfonso Ratliff versus Dwight Muhammad Cowie, slugging it out for the WBA America's Cruiserweight Championship. Plus 3 WBA America's Championship fights. The light heavyweight, lightweight, and featherweight titles. A pay-per-view event you won't want to miss. April 18th, 8 o'clock Eastern. Check your cable company for details.
Well, Randy, we saw at the end of the first quarter that Mount St. Mary's put together a few things, and they were able to capitalize on that, so they're going to try and do the same thing here with a 4-goal lead under 1 minute to play in the half.
I imagine Coach Kilgore might have had the little chalk talk there right in the huddle, and you'll probably either see maybe a clear or out for one of his, I would imagine for one of his attackmen, or McNulty or Mundorf or French. They're all real tough from behind. Now, Western Maryland, their strategy, they might just sit in the zone and say, okay, watch this. I don't know what Coach Williams has set up. Well, it's like they're going to be in a man, so.
Be a big exchange here for the Green Terror defense. They didn't want to be down by 5 at halftime.
Well, they're clearing out from behind. They cleared out from McNulty to come around the left-hand side.
This is McNulty getting it over to Horning. And broken up nicely by Western Maryland. Here comes Fulham. A pass up ahead to McCook. Behind the cage, guarded by Weiss. Along the left side, it's no good and lost along the end line.
It's a real nice look by McCook of Western Maryland. And now Western Maryland, they have 0 timeouts left, so with 14 seconds, they'd like to sneak one in the cage.
7-3, coming up on halftime. Bill Howlett up to McCook, setting up the offense. Pass intended for Warner, broken up. Here comes Warner now with possession. Down to 2 seconds, 1 second. And that will do it for the first half here at Scott Bear Stadium. So a half where the momentum has shifted, and so far Mount St. Mary's having the most of it. It's halftime here at Western Maryland College, and our score and our debut coverage of College Lacrosse, it is Mount St. Mary's 7, Western Maryland 3 at halftime.
Here at Heissens, we're not high pressure. We're not low pressure. We're no pressure. Heissens doesn't have any glitz or glitter, but we do have beautiful, comfortable, well-constructed furniture that's guaranteed and fairly priced. And we'll be here for you tomorrow. We've already been around for nearly 75 years. Heissens Fine Furniture and Appliances. Still family run, still on Main Street in Hampstead, and still growing.
Now you can join the Pound Puppies on their first musical movie adventure.
Come on. Hurry up, the puppies and the furries at the pound.
You can hug them. You can love them.
They're just so cute.
You can help them as they discover a legend. The Pound Puppies and the Legend of... It's a good time adventure for the whole family. Pound Puppies and the Legend of Big Paw on Viewer's Choice.
Brian McLean and Randy Dace back with you at Scott Bear Stadium at Western Maryland College. Our score at halftime right now, the Mountaineers of Mount St. Mary's 7 and Western Maryland 3, capping the first half scoring. It all began in the first quarter with 12:42 to play. Mike McNulty scoring unassisted for Mount St. Mary's, giving them the 1-0 lead. And Brian Miller made it 2-0 about 2 minutes later. And finally breaking the ice for Western Maryland was Fulham at the 8:02 mark in the first period. And Bill Howlett tied the score with 5:58 to play in the first quarter. That made it 2-2. And Matt Mundorf, his unassisted goal with 42 seconds to play in the first period, gave them the 3-2 lead. That's where we stood after 1 period of play. In the second period, it was all Mount St. Mary's for the most part. Matt Mundorf scoring at the 13:57 mark. Also Brian Miller scoring at the 7:57 mark. And Mike McNulty again scoring at the 6:24 mark. And then Mundorf running at the scoring at the 4:13 and 2:11 mark. That's where we stand right now. It's Mount St. Mary's 7, Western Maryland 3. Shots on goal, the Mount controlling that, 23-13. Ground balls as well being controlled, 28-22 by the Mount, and both clubs winning 6 face-offs. So we're set to get started in the second half. Along with Randy Gase, I'm Brian McLean, 7-3, Mount St. Mary's. And we'll face off once again. It's Phil Key and Bo Keene doing the honors for Western Maryland and Mount St. Mary's respectively. The intense rivalry, Western Maryland trying to end the 4-game losing streak against Mount St. Mary's, right now down by 4. And the face-off to begin the second half is still being battled for. And the Mount coming out with it momentarily. But here come the Green Terrors and Fenari. Over to McCook. Excuse me, Jeff Downer. Jeff Downer now up to Dave McCook. McCook to Bill Howlett. Trying to get involved in the offense a little more this half. Fenari battling Hoffman, and we get a whistle.
We have a loose ball push on Mount St. Mary's. Western Maryland will still have the ball in their possession on the offense. Brian, this is a very crucial time of any athletic contest, or even right now with this lacrosse game. The next 4 to 5 minutes, Western Maryland must get a goal or two and shut down the Mounts, unless it's going to be a long second half. I should say, for Western Maryland.
Howard and McCook right now playing catch behind the goal.
Western Maryland's lined up in a 2-2. Need to get the ball to Howard. He makes things happen. Either he'll score or he'll dish off.
He has it right now, but they've really shut him down for the most part. This is Dave McCook, takes a shot on goal. It's off to the right. Howard comes out with it. They draw Plott out of the cage. He's back in there now.
It's the first time I've ever seen Howard play, but I really like him because he can go one-on-one, but he also is a great team player too, which I guess shows with all the records he's broken in assist and scoring.
This is Fenari now on the attack, takes a shot, it's off to the right. McCook having problems controlling it.
And nobody cut the grass. The ball's not rolling out the end line.
Getting buried in the grass, you can really see it.
That makes it tough. You got to run more as an athlete.
Bill Howlett now, again, being really keyed on. A shot, and no good. A near goal by Western Maryland's Joe Fenari.
And that was saved by Mount St. Mary's defenseman there, who snuck in the cage.
Still on the attack is Western Maryland. Bill Howlett looking for help. They've really kept him in check for the most part today.
Defense has been tough by Mount St. Mary's.
John Weiss, you have to give him a lot of credit. He's been the man mostly on him. He takes it away here. John Weiss done a tremendous job defensively for the Mount.
Weiss and Mosmiller are really tough on the wings there for Mount St. Mary's. And unfortunately for Western Maryland, they needed to put the ball in the goal that time. They might have got a break, Brian.
Mosmiller's pass intended for Weiss.
See, we jinxed them, Brian. We just said they're really playing great today, and they threw the ball away. But that's okay. You got to make a few errors. You just got to say in your mind what's next.
Western Maryland possession. And Downer will come off for Hospelhorn for Western Maryland. Now Bill Howell on the far side gets it to Fulham. Now to Mazeritz into the game as well. Fulham takes a shot. It's broken up. They scramble for it. Plott trying to get it to
dragged it into the crease.
Keeps it in the crease, and he gets possession. And now the Mountaineers trying to set up things right now. They really haven't gotten much offense going at all here in the second half. They lead right now 7-3, coming down on 12 minutes to play in period number 3.
Being patient on the clear, need to get the ball up to the offensive end of the field. They haven't seen the ball for at least 3 minutes here. And again, even though they haven't scored, they're still in good shape because Western Maryland just couldn't put the ball in the cage yet.
Mosmiller up ahead to Horning. Horning now around his defender along the near side, getting it down to French. Now to Mundorf. Mundorf is Looking for some help behind his cage.
Mundorf holding that ball a little bit, pretty long back there, settling things down, but tough shot there by Mundorf. A nice stop by Bachman, coming out and cutting down the angle.
And the green tears coming up the other way now. It's Fulham. Who else? Across midfield.
Fulham is everywhere again in the second half. He took a real nice shot a couple of minutes ago, too.
That was Jeff Downer passing it downfield. Howlett losing his footing momentarily. Again, he does battle with Weiss, and Weiss gets the most of it this time. It'll be Mount St. Mary's possession.
Weiss has been sticking to Howlett like glue, or we could say he's been shadowing. But Howlett, you know, even though we're giving Mount St. Mary's defensive credit, Howlett still plays tough. He keeps on coming back at him.
Brian King now with possession for the Mountaineers. Gets it back to his goaltender.
Mount St. Mary's trying to clear the ball here with their goalkeeper and defenseman to his left and to his right. 4 across the midfield. Great look to Weiss in the center.
Great play, Weiss. A shot on goal and a score by Matt Mundorf. Real pretty play. Weiss to Mundorf. Great assist there. And it's a 5-goal game with 10-12 to play in the third quarter. It's now Mount St. Mary's 8, Western Maryland 3.
That's probably the second best dream in a defenseman's life. The first would be to have a goal, but to get an assist, and it was a great look by Weiss to Mundorf on the crease.
So Mundorf, who had 25 points coming into the day, makes it a 5-goal game, 8-3. Phil Key and Bo Keene face off, and Key wins it momentarily, having some problems on the near side.
Western Maryland was playing the ball from out of bounds. That's illegal, and as a result, Mount St. Mary's will have possession of the ball on offense.
Tough break for the Green Terrors. Here comes Mount St. Mary's, Brian King. King is guarded by Graves. King breaking away momentarily. Now here comes Western Maryland. It's Rosenberger. Dave Rosenberger.
A lot of nice passing on the part of Western Maryland's defense, trying to get this ball cleared up the field.
Brian does so for the moment. Western
Maryland they really look over the field well and passing and hitting the open man. Right now, they need a goal. Need to gain some confidence on the offense.
Jeff Downer takes a shot. Goes out along the end line.
It's a nice shot by Downer. Was backed up and they'll set up a little out of bounds play here and then get the offense moving again.
Bill Howlett now will set up the offense. Gets it to Downer. Broken up momentarily. That was Fenari, Joe Fenari. Here comes McCook. Gets it to Fenari. Fenari penetrating. Mundorf shot, or excuse me, Fenari shot just off to the right. But Western Maryland maintaining possession. Another shot off to the right, taken by McCook. Now Howlett with possession.
A lot of near misses here, Brian. A lot of oohs and ahs in the crowd.
Bill Howlett guarded by Weiss once again. Dodging a roll dodge to his left. He takes a shot, and it's good. Bill Howlett, that time not to be denied. Showing why he was all MAC for the past 2 years. It's now a 4-goal game, 8-4, as Howlett scores for Western Maryland.
Real pretty individual effort on the part of Bill Howlett. He had Weiss beat, and then Mount St. Mary's goalkeeper Plott stepped out just a little bit to cut the angle, but Howlett was smart enough to let the ball, it had eyes on it, sneak in the cage. So just what the doctor ordered here for Western Maryland. It's now 8-4, and maybe they'll go for another one.
In the game we saw in the first half, the momentum was shifting back and forth. We'll see if the Green Terrors can keep it on their side for now. They're within 4. And here comes Mount St. Mary's. Brian Miller. Over to King. King still with possession, gets around his defender, takes a shot. A nice save by Backman. Fulham coming up with it momentarily for Western Maryland. Now we get a whistle.
Might have been a injury on the part of here of Mount St. Mary's. Referee might have seen an injury, not sure.
And well, Mundorf coming over to the sideline. And Coach Kilgore will send in Charlie Horning once again.
Could have been an equipment problem. Still waiting to hear from the referee. It's like we're having a debate now, Brian.
The officials will discuss things. Up next for Mount St. Mary's, they'll take on UMBC on April the 12th, coming up this Tuesday. And Western Maryland returning home Wednesday, taking on Dickinson, a fellow MAC rival.
Well, they're keeping it a secret from us, Brian, but we're going to continue play. With the score 8-4, it's ironic, Brian, but we're expecting a real tight ball game, and it's sort of been like tug of war back and forth, but I think we were both trying to read off the Gettysburg game where both teams lost to Gettysburg by 1 goal.
Gettysburg, the number 10 team in Division III, and a heartbreaking loss for Western Maryland Wednesday, losing 13-12, and the Mount losing by 1 goal, as you said as well, 11-10.
But this game's a long way from over.
The Mount on the attack, Jerry French with the ball.
Mount setting their offense up, getting the middies in from the penalty box area. Comes the one last player in and out, and they'll be all set to go to the...
It's Mundorf.
It's a beautiful look down the backside. Unfortunately,
Willie
was dropped.
Hoffman just couldn't come up with it for Mount St. Mary's. They still have possession. Stankiewicz. Down to McNulty.
Both teams play unselfishly. Great looks from both teams for their fellow teammates on the offense.
McNulty being double teamed momentarily. And coming up with it is Jeff Downer for Western Maryland. Nice defensive exchange there. Up ahead to Henderson and a whistle.
We have a slash on Mount St. Mary's. This will give Western Maryland the man advantage on the offense. A few words were exchanged there.
Yeah, I saw a few words spoken on the field, and McNulty will come to the box for Mount St. Mary's. So a 60-second man advantage now for Western Maryland. A big opportunity here as they can cut the lead to 3. Fenari, along with Hospelhorn, Graves on the attack for the Green Terrors. This is Mazeritz to Fenari, back to McCook. Back out to Mazeritz.
They're in a 1-4 setup. It's looking on the crease.
Hospelhorn, who's seen a lot of action today, gets a pass to Fenari and he scores.
Hospelhorn, a tremendous look to Fenari on the crease. Fenari just swung around and put it over the shoulder of Mount St. Mary's goaltender, Mr. Plott. It was a real nice look. Brian, momentum.
That's right, momentum back in the hands of Western Maryland right now. Joe Fenari, the freshman from Loch Raven, makes it 8-5, and the Green Terrors cut it to 3, taking advantage of that man advantage. 6:31 to play. That's the idea, right? That's why they call it a man advantage.
Perfect. That was the advantage, and they capitalized on it.
6:31 to play in the third.
Things are starting to heat up here, if it's not the temperature of the game at least.
It's not the temperature. Our vantage point up here in the press box above the bleachers at Scott Bear Stadium. Fulham with about 9 guys on him gets possession.
Ooh.
And a flag goes down as players hit the floor.
Great opportunity.
Fenari to Hallett, and he scores. Pretty play for Western Maryland. It's a brand new ball game. A great assist for Fenari, and Bill Hallett cuts the lead to 2. It's 8-6, Mount St. Mary's.
You talk about capitalizing on a situation. Western Maryland with the penalty now being on Mount St. Mary's, taking the ball in. with the flag on the ground, scoring, and now Western Maryland there'll be a face-off, and they'll still be up a man if they gain possession of the ball, so they could possibly sneak another goal in here and get back into the game down by only 1. Tremendous exchange here of action.
Mosmiller in the cage, serving now. Earlier it had been McNulty, so the man advantage really being a big factor here in the third, and it's made this game a brand new ball game, a 2-goal game now.
And maybe that get us per game was a good barometer reading, Brian.
A tight game. It's shaping out that way right now. A 2-goal contest. And Keene once again will face off against Key.
It's a complex situation right now with the face-off because it's the Mountain St. Mary's to try to get their defensive team organized, and at the same time, Green Terrace are going to have to get their offensive team. And right now, it's a real draw.
Phil Key.
They're still drawing.
Last year's Ball Hawk Award, Phil Key. They're still doing battle at midfield.
I always killed that girls' field hockey open.
Finally controlling is Mount St. Mary's. A collision in the middle of the field. Here comes McNulty. Takes a shot and he scores for Mount St. Mary's. Mike McNulty, the junior from Loyola. It's 9-6, the Mountaineers.
Again, capitalizing on a situation unfortunate for Western Maryland. Mount St. Mary's gets a loose ball. McNulty puts the ball on the goal. Rather than Western Maryland being up a man, now they're down now 3 goals rather than 2 with score 9-6. The momentum just jumped real quickly to the Mount St. Mary's bench.
Good effort on McNulty's part, knowing they were down a man. He took it on himself.
Real smart move. McNulty's a nice ball player. I like his shot. He's a cranker, too.
Yes. So it's a 3-goal game once again. 5:41 to play in the third. 9-6 Mountaineers.
I was all set, Brian, to say, gee whiz, maybe Mount's better call a timeout, but that goal was better than a timeout to break momentum by Western Maryland.
The same two will face off once again, Key and Keene. Loose ball down in the Mount, or rather the Western Maryland zone. But Weiss comes up with it for the Mount, and clearing it is goaltender Plott. A flag goes down. Things getting physical right now as Joe Stankiewicz hitting the field for Mount St. Mary's.
Mount St. Mary's will now be up a man with the penalty on Western Maryland and the hit from behind.
Western Maryland will serve the 1-minute penalty, and now the Mount with a chance here, a man advantage, up ahead by 3. And we mentioned momentum several times, and right now it's back into the hands of the Mountaineers. Being patient offensively, we get a whistle.
What we have is we have a mouthpiece warning on the part of Mount St. Mary's. Referee will warn you once, the second time will be a technical foul. That's a rule that's just been implemented in the last couple years for the protection of the players.
Jerry French back to Mundorf, setting up the offense.
Mount St. Mary's in a 3-3 alignment on the extra man O. I'm sorry, Brian, set up into a 2-3-1. Looking for the crease. Great pass by Mundorf there.
A good shot taken as well, but an off-balance shot taken by Horning. Couldn't get it to go. And now a penalty is assessed against Jeff Downer of Western Maryland.
Referee Scotty Frederick heard a few extracurricular vocabulary words, I guess, from Mr. Downer of Western Maryland, and he's assessing him a 1-minute penalty.
And Downer explaining things to his coach, Williams. I didn't do it, Coach. But nonetheless.
There's referees hear a lot of things. I don't know.
Explaining the way he saw it.
That's
but
right.
Unfortunately for him, the man with the striped shirts make the decisions, and he'll be serving 1 minute.
And now Western Maryland's down 2 men.
Big opportunity for them out here. Horning out to Hoffman. Back over to French, now Hoffman.
Good ball movement.
It's what's needed. And a shot and a score by Matt Mundorf, who's played really a good ball game today. Scoring again for, I beg your pardon, McNulty, who's also had a big game for Mount St. Mary's scoring.
That was really tough to see, Brian. For me, it looked like it ricocheted off the defenseman sticking into the cage, but they're giving the goal to Mike, now to Mike McNulty, or they changed it.
Matt Mundorf with the official score.
Okay.
As we had said originally, so Mundorf getting the momentum back into the hands. A 4-goal game now.
Well, Brian, things have changed just like the weather again.
10-6, the Mountaineers. And the man advantage really paying off today. And when play resumes, 4:33 to play in period number 3. And the same two will face off. Fulham onto the field as well for Western Maryland. Cook and Hallett and Fenari on the offensive end. They square off. Fulham trying to help out. Hallett in there as well.
Mount St. Mary's man was stepping on the Western Maryland man's stick. It's illegal, and as a result, it'll be ball given to Western Maryland on their offensive end of the field. It's interesting to note on the faceoffs right now, you're basically an even Steven draw here with both teams, but the wings are coming in and playing a part in picking up the ground ball.
Bill Hallett now. Was guarded by Hoffman at the moment, trying to get it down to his teammate Funari. They lose along the near side, far sideline. Possession will be maintained by Western Maryland. Dennis McLaughlin will come into the game for the first time for Mount St. Mary's, spelling Hoffman.
Yeah, the situation is right now, Brian, is Western Maryland, they have the ball. They still are down a man. And usually if you get the ball in the box, you can release the man, but because of the unsportsmanlike, he's not being released. Okay, I'm trying to see if we're all even now, Brian. No, they're still down a man.
McCook to Fenari. Fenari's shot broken up by goaltender Plott.
So it's a 5-on-6 situation for the offense, and now the penalty's all over. As you can see, Downer's coming in.
Jeff Downer back in. He gets the ball. No, he doesn't. A shot taken by Fenari is no good. Fulham with the rebound. Trying to spin around his man. A flag goes down. Fulham takes the shot. And it's wide to the left.
We have a slash on Mount St. Mary's, and now the extra man offense will go to Western Maryland. A lot of penalties here the last several minutes that have really changed the momentum of the game again.
And Chris Daniels, who has served a couple of times in the box today, will serve once again for the Mount. Slashing call, a 60-second man advantage now for Western Maryland. Mazeritz to McCook to Hallett.
Western Maryland's moving the ball around the horn. Again, I think you'll see him cut into a 2-3 and probably into a 1-4-1.
Very patient. Hallett across the middle, too tall for Mazeritz. Hospelhorn will come back and get it for the Green Terrors.
It's a nice look to Mazeritz cutting on the crease. They'll bring it back and probably set up in a 1-4 again, looking for a cutter or getting the ball out front.
Hallett to Mazeritz. Mazeritz, the shot is there. Broken up though. Plott, nice save. And he'll clear it way upfield.
It's a pretty save by Michael Plott of Mount St. Mary's. Plott has done a real nice job in the cage today.
Backman clears it for Western Maryland. They're on the attack now. Bill Hallett with the ball. Guarded by Hoffman. Coming up with it now is Hoffman for Mount St. Mary's as it's stripped away. Hospelhorn losing it momentarily. Trying to get it back into the Western Maryland zone.
Getting a little sloppy here, Brian, a little sloppy.
Mazeritz having some problems at midfield. Now here come the Mountaineers and Jerry French. French will settle things down as Coach Kilgore sends in two new players, Horning and Hoffman, back into the game. And this is Hoffman now with the ball.
Mount St. Mary's basically just dodged a few little small pellets there, or bullets we could say, holding Western Maryland when they were down to when they're up a man. Now, Mount St. Mary's, if I were them, I'd be a little bit patient, work for the good shot. There's less than 2 minutes to go in this quarter. They like to get into that fourth quarter up by 4 goals, or maybe add to the scoreboard.
Mundorf now, in his end, being patient. 1:40 to play, 10-6, Mountaineers lead it in the third quarter. Mundorf has it broken up by John Brine.
Has a great check by Brine. Beautiful check.
Mazurts now. It's him and Horning doing battle. Walton in on the action for Western Maryland. McNulty now. Up ahead to Hoffman. Hoffman being checked by Walton.
Nice overhead check by Walton. Action's sort of picking up, getting a little fierce, Brian.
Things getting very physical. 5 players on the field. Nothing's called. Here comes French. Shot on goal and a score by Mike McNulty, who's had a big game.
It's a beautiful look by French to McNulty, who cut down for the left-handed shot with 50 seconds to go in the quarter. That's a very important goal for Mount St. Mary's. Puts them up by now 5 with 11 and 6 score.
They did it in the first period with 42 seconds to play as time was winding down. They do it again here in the third with just under a minute to play. It's a 5-goal game. Big advantage for the Mountaineers to go into that final period up by 5. 11-6 our score.
It's almost like Mount St. Mary's has written a script for this game so far.
From the face-off, Phil Key controlling it. Pass behind him intended for McCook. This is Mosmiller now for the Mount on the attack with 40 seconds to play. Pass intended for French. Now it's Mundorf losing it along the near sideline.
Mundorf was trying to look up to see where his fellow teammate might be to pass the ball. When he looked up, he lost concentration on the ball and unfortunately scooped it out of bounds. But he was thinking. That's what I like to see in a lacrosse player.
Western Maryland possession. Fenari up ahead to number 30. He's guarded by Keene, broken up by Mosmiller, a long clear by Mosmiller as we get down on the 22nd mark. Over the cage. And it's Western Maryland possession out of bounds along the end line.
In lacrosse, we have a term for that. We call it a Gilman, where you throw the ball the length of the field. And I thought you might see Lock Raymond do it, but they're trying to work it up. There's still now 10 seconds to go.
Down or up ahead to Fulham, 7 seconds, 6 seconds, Fulham. Trying to get away from his defender, takes a shot, it's wide to the right. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it for us here in period number 3 from Scott Bear Stadium at Western Maryland College. 3 quarters in the books, we have 15 minutes to play. And our score after 3 quarters of play, it's now Mount St. Mary's 11, Western Maryland 6. We'll be right back.
Would you like to play tennis and have fun? Blue Ridge Tennis Camp, located at Mount St. Mary's College in Emmitsburg, Maryland, features lessons for both juniors and adults from a staff of skilled professionals. Perhaps you're a beginner who wants to develop your game, or you might want to become a serious tournament player. Enjoy daily private coaching and videotaped analysis. Sound exciting? Call Blue Ridge Tennis Camp and come to the mountains to play. 1-week sessions, 2-hour minicamp weeks, or daily lessons are available.
That is the other half of your team, gentlemen. The pride of Mother Russia.
Chappie Sinclair is back, this time heading the first American-Soviet strike force against an...
Getting it down to his teammate. They're fighting for it along the creek. And we get a whistle here. The possession for Western Maryland.
Interference with the goalkeeper again. I don't think Coach Kilgore wanted that offensive set. I think he wanted to get the ball, settle it, get some movement. But Brian King sort of forced the issue up the center there.
Fenari now waiting, setting up the offense. Gets to Backman.
Got a 2-on-1 up the near sideline here, Brian. But he looked across the field.
Jeff Downer, he goes down along with Keene. And an infringement called.
Here we have a penalty on Mount St. Mary's, 30 seconds on the push, and a tremendous break for Western Maryland. They'll be on extra man offense and maybe can get back in the ball game a little bit more.
Bo Keene will serve the 30 seconds, so a break for the Green Terrors, chance to cut it to 3 with 12:14 to play. Finari down to the other Finari brother. Taking the cook now. Back to Mazeritz.
Mr. Maryland's in their 1-4 set.
Bill Howard. Nice pass inside.
Beautiful pass.
Great save, however, by Plott as the shot was taken by Vince Finari. But a great look from Bill Howard.
Plott for Mount St. Mary's, their goalkeeper, has been very steady all day.
Had a good game. Right now, Mosmiller getting it over to Hoffman. Doing battle with Mazeritz. Hoffman now with a long stick. Sends McCook down. Up ahead to Joe Stankiewicz. Stankiewicz to McNulty. The French. To Mundorf, who scores for Mount St. Mary's. Matt Mundorf, the senior.
That's one of the prettiest cross, and it all started back here on the defense with the Mounties Weiss bringing the ball up the sideline, but the pass, and then see the back of the net dented. It's just pretty in lacrosse. Nice shot by Mundorf, but it was really started on the defensive end of the field.
Excellent teamwork there, which is a good sign of coaching too. Randy Kilgore, his experience.
Both teams watching this, first time I've seen this level of lacrosse here with Division III. Both teams are well coached. I like the enthusiasm and spirit on all the players on each team, and you can tell they've been working hard in the off season and preseason.
Brian King and Phil Key facing off. The Green Terrors control it. McCook on the attack. Being picked up by Mosmiller. Now to Finari now. Vince Finari. Picked up by Hoffman. Finari fighting off his defender and scoring. A great individual effort by Vinny Finari.
Tremendous athletic move. It was a one-on-one effort by Vince Finari. He just drove down the right-hand side, and another thing that I like is it was a beautiful bounce shot. If you notice, he just shot it about 2 or 3 feet from the mouth of the goal, and you couldn't get a better shot. Hit that top part of the bar or the pipe of the goal, and now Western Maryland just comes back again to make it 13-9. Mount St. Mary's ahead, but they never give up, Brian.
Not giving up, that's right. Showing a lot of heart. A 4-goal game right now, 13-9, under 11 minutes to play. Keenan Finari will face off. Jeff Downer helping out for Western Maryland. With the possession for the Mount now, Brian King. And now McNulty setting up the offense. This is Brian Miller now.
Western Maryland, you take Key, you take Finari, Vince, and Downer and Fallon. Real workhorses on the midfield area.
Miller taking his time, getting it to King.
We're seeing patience now on the part of Mount St. Mary's.
They're in no hurry. Up by 4, 10 minutes to play.
Now, if they would continue to slow this up, the referee at one point will give them a signal where they'd have to keep the boxes in the penalty box area. If they move it out, they'd lose possession. So far, no signal yet from the referee. But I noticed Western Maryland's reminding the ref of that rule.
Yes. Coach Williams saying how he sees it right now. Still on the attack is the Mount. They lose it now as Jeff Downer comes up for Western Maryland. A flag goes down. Downer across midfield. Trying to get it to McCook. It's broken up by Mosmiller. And now we get the whistle. Get a slash call against Mount St. Mary's.
Mount St. Mary's is going to be down 2 men. We have 2 separate penalties, 2 slashes. So Western Maryland has a tremendous break. Mount St. Mary's will be down 2 men for 2 minutes. And with the score 13-9 with under 10 minutes to go, a little under 10, another tremendous opportunity. Hopefully they can capitalize.
Willie Hoffman and Joe Cordisco will serve the penalties for Mount St. Mary's. A 2-man advantage for the Green Terrors. A big opportunity here.
Brian, I'm mistaken. I guess it's 2 minutes on the same man from Mount St. Mary's. So it's only a 1-man advantage. A little confusing there. Still a great opportunity for Western Maryland.
Yes, it is. Bill Howard now Back to McCook. Down to 9:15 to play. The Green Terrors a chance to cut it to 3. Bill Howlett sending Carroll down. Howlett will take the shot. It's off to the left. Plott comes up with it for Mount St. Mary's inside the crease. Over to Mosmiller. There to greet him is Mazurits. He gets it over now to Hoffman. Broken up by McCook. Now Fenari with the possession for Western Maryland. Looking for Howlett.
Sometimes the unsettled situation is more dangerous than the offensive setup in an extra man offense. But now they're set up in their 3-3-3 Western Maryland.
Trying to settle things down. Fenari, Vinny to his brother Vince. Vince having some problems.
Mentally, he had scored already. He was ready for the face-off. It's a great look, though, by his brother.
Now Vinny. Cross-field pass to Howlett. Howlett nearest to the ball. Western Maryland possession. Not quite in sync right now.
No. They were lucky that it bounced off a Carroll stick of Mount St. Mary's.
McCook to Hospital-Horn. Out to Mazurits.
Good ball movement.
Fenari having some problems. Being picked up by Dennis McLaughlin.
That's a good call, Brian. They're out of sync right now. Every time they get the key pass for the shot, they're dropping the ball.
Vince Fenari takes the shot. Too tall to the left. And Western Maryland will maintain possession. Lost along the end line. Dave McCook there. Western Maryland still a two-man advantage. Trying to get one in the cage here. Bill Howlett now will set things up. And a goal, finally, nicely executed there. Joe Fenari. Good assist from Bill Howlett.
Howlett again eyes the crease, sees Joe Fenari, and you have another goal. Howlett again proves he is an All-American.
Very unselfish player. He does get a lot of goals, but he's just does so many things for the offense. Sort of the quarterback out there. Setting things up with a good assist. It's a 3-goal contest, 7:52 to play. And once again, Randy, hey, it's not over yet. 3-goal game, 13-10.
I'm getting a little worn out, Brian. Every time I can sit back and relax and think it's over, we're back in the ball game.
We have a good one here at Scott Bear Stadium at Western Maryland College.
Very important face-off for Western Maryland.
And it's Fulham on the face-off for Western Maryland. He's played a really good game today. He controls the face-off against Keene. Keene defending him right now.
He's got to get away from the pressure.
Fulham looking for some help. Pass to Howlett. His shot is good. It's a 2-goal game. Bill Howlett with a great assist from Fulham. 13-11 with 7:32 to play.
Fulham again. What a workhorse. Tremendous offensive effort. Looking up the scene, Howlett, and now Western Maryland's down 2 goals. Momentum is now jumped to the Green Terror side. The Mounties, I'd be a little worried right now. I sort of feel Coach Kilgore might call a time or maybe one more goal to break this momentum. Again, Brian, see how the face-off game is so important. Who can dominate that face-off?
And the man advantage, too.
Definitely.
And especially when you have the advantage to win that face-off is critical, and that's how Western Maryland has gotten back into this ball game.
A real nice move by Coach Kilgore. He called a timeout, but the reason I like it is he waited right before they're going to face off and really tried to break momentum rather than an early timeout right after the goal.
A much-needed timeout, Randy. You called it, and Coach Kilgore takes his timeout. We'll take a timeout as well on Prestige Cable. We got a ball game, folks. 7:32 to play, and our score is now Mount St. Mary's 13, Western Maryland 11. Don't go away.
Avenue Taylor Bridal and Tuxedo Shops, located in Martins, Westminster, and in Martins, West Baltimore, has all the popular gowns, as shown in 17 magazines. We have all the tuxedo styles by Christian Dior, After 6, and Pierre Cardin, as well as fashion ties, cummerbunds, in many colors to match your date's gown. Doesn't your prom or special occasion deserve the security of our Avenue Taylor's experience?
Guess who's coming to Viewer's Choice? It's Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin. It's Lily Tomlin and Bette Midler. 2 sets of twins, 4 times the fun. In one big comedy hit, you don't have to rush out to rent. One thing's for sure, it's a scream. And big news for the whole family when you order Big Business on Viewer's Choice. Why rush out to the video store for the big fun of Big Business? Delivered to you at home on Viewer's Choice.
In the fourth period, Western Maryland taking advantage of the face-off and the extra man advantage. They've made this a brand new ball game. It's now a 2-goal contest. The Mountaineers ahead by 2, 13-11. 7.5 minutes to play.
Brian, I'm going to repeat myself one more time. A very important face-off for Western Maryland. Fallon again, working hard out there.
Gets it to Downer. Western Maryland on the attack. Downer up to McCook. Now Bill Howard, who's picked up by Hoffman. Bill having some problem with the footing.
Smart play. Got rid of it, settled things down. Here comes, oh my heavens, we just missed, Western Maryland missed Ferrari coming down the backside.
He had a cutter there, but McCook missed him, and now Mount St. Mary's with possession. Goaltender Plott up ahead to Mosmiller. Now the Mount, who have not been on the offensive scheme of things recently. New foul there, as we see Fernari getting the stick into Mosmiller's face, man. So nothing is called.
Western Maryland dodged a bullet there.
Charlie Horning now. He's picked up by Walt. Horning to Mundorf. 6:35 to play in the contest. Mount St. Mary's by 2.
Mount St. Mary's calling out a little play here. Sending a lot of people to the crease, looking for the backside. Perfect.
Beautiful play, no question about that. An excellent cutter. Joe Stankiewicz was there. Had the goalie screen to the left. And Stankiewicz makes it a 3-goal contest. Now the timeout pays off for Coach Kilgore and the Mountaineers.
Timeout worked perfectly. And number 17, Matt Mundorf, looked up on the crease. And it was a called play. I don't know if they're yelling green or something, but it was a called play, a set play. Real nice strategy there for Mount St. Mary's. I like the odd digits, Brian. Doesn't mean anything on lacrosse. In basketball, they say it means a lot.
Sure. You want an odd score.
Right.
14-11 our score, 3-goal game, 6:25 to play, and Fulham once again will square off against Bo Keene. The timeout paying off for the Mountaineers. They're up by 3 once again. Fulham gets it over to Fernari, Vinny Fernari.
Another face-off for Western Maryland.
Fulham with Keene on him. Fulham takes the shot. It's a save by Plott. Plott's getting harassed by Joe Fernari right now. Up ahead to his teammate Dennis McLaughlin. He clears it now up to Mundorf. Mundorf, along with McNulty on the near sideline, doing battle with 2 green terrors. And winning the most of it is Mundorf. Here he comes towards the cage with Fulham on him. A shot is to the left by Hoffman. And a flag going down. And someone's going to serve very soon. I believe it's going to be against Western Maryland.
It will be Western Maryland. If I'm not mistaken, I saw a cross-check right after the shot. Could be unsportsmanlike. Let's see what the referees have to say.
If that is the case, a 60-second advantage for the Mount. They will assess it against Western Maryland. Cord Sandstrom from Kent School in Connecticut, the senior, he will serve the penalty for Western Maryland.
Coach Williams is signaling for a timeout right now. He finally caught the referee's attention.
So we saw the timeout working for Kilgore, and now Mike Williams doing the same for Western Maryland, trying to come up with a defense to take care of this man disadvantage that Western Maryland has. We'll take a timeout here. 14-11 is our score, 5:44 to play, and we'll return to Scott Bear Stadium after this.
Here at Heissens, we're not high pressure. We're not low pressure. We're no pressure. Heissens doesn't have any glitz or glitter, but we do have beautiful, comfortable, well-constructed furniture that's guaranteed and fairly priced. And we'll be here for you tomorrow. We've already been around for nearly 75 years. Heissens Fine Furniture and Appliances. Still family run, still on Main Street in Hampstead, and still growing.
Sally Field.
You're not funny.
You say that to me one more time and I'm going to leave this house.
Tom Hanks.
I'm not going to be a heart surgeon like you or my brother after all, but I am going to be a star.
They're about to discover comedy can be serious business.
I want to learn.
Lady gets takes every night. 6 clubs a night, all night.
Don't miss the punchline. Get it at home on Viewer's Choice. Sally Field and Tom Hanks are outstanding as stand-up comics in Punchline. Delivered to you on Viewer's Choice.
We're back at Scott Bear Stadium. A timeout called by Mike Williams. They were a defensive timeout, Coach. Randy, I think with
Smart.
the man disadvantage, he has to take it.
Very smart timeout. He's down 3 goals, 5:44 to go. He cannot afford to allow another goal on the part of Mount St. Mary's. So he wanted to regroup, get his defenders emotionally up and mentally up for this offensive effort, EMO effort by Mount St. Mary's.
French to Hoffman to Mundorf to McNulty. They pass it around, being patient. 5:30 to play, a 3-goal lead.
And Western Maryland again is down 2 men, so they're in the box. I would imagine if the ball is loose, you'll see a Gilman where they'll just throw the ball up the field to get out of that end.
Shot is taken. Nice save by, for the moment, by Backman. A tough break. Backman was screened momentarily. Getting the rebound was French for, or rather Mundorf, Matt Mundorf for Mount St. Mary's. Mundorf, a heads-up play there. And taking advantage of that advantage that they've had throughout the afternoon.
Unfortunate situation for Western Maryland. Tremendous save by Bachman, but Mundorf heads up, saw the, as we say, garbage on the crease, and kicked it back in with his stick. Yeah, tough situation.
Jim's real frustrated with himself, making the save and having nothing to show for it, unfortunately, because they get the goal nonetheless.
He was just set to rake it back in the crease, and I imagine he would have Gilman the ball just to get it out of there.
But nonetheless, Mundorf answers for Mount St. Mary's, a 4-goal game once again. 15-11, the Mountaineers lead it, 5:17 to play. And as Randy has said many times, once again, an all-important face-off. They're all important with 5 minutes to play. It's going to be Fulham and Key for Western Maryland and Mount St. Mary's, respectively.
And again, it's not over. There's still a lot of time.
Lots of time left. Western Maryland has answered very quickly on several occasions. Keene saves it in. Mosmiller now momentarily. Now back to Keene. Gets checked.
Western Maryland definitely swarming the ball right now.
Creating havoc at the moment. Downer goes down, or
it's a long sideline over there. It's like they're up in the stands almost.
Near the caboose.
Yeah,
still
near the
playing
caboose.
lacrosse. Plott now will set things up.
And the penalty box is going to be busy because Mount St. Mary's is getting their clearing team in, and right now this is Western Maryland's got to put pressure on the ball because the clock is not on their side at this point in time.
Goalie Hoffman into the game right now for Mount St. Mary's. Weiss, Mosmiller, and goalie Plott now setting things up.
And how it is going, he's putting pressure on the ball right now.
Yeah, they have no choice right now. Up ahead to Hoffman.
Worked out real nice for him if they can get this loose ball.
Loose ball control momentarily. Now coming up with it is Joe Finari. Being harassed by Mosmiller, who knocks it away.
Great check by Mosmiller of Mount St. Mary's.
Walton clearing it momentarily, but Horning comes up with it, now getting it to French for the Mount.
And the Mount, they want to gain possession and be very patient. The word is patience right now.
Goalie Hoffman right now slowing things down. Back over to Horning. And Horning will set things up.
Sort of sense that Mount St. Mary's is smelling that victory right now after that possession. You're going to see a slowdown right now.
Stankiewicz gets it to McNulty.
And Western Maryland's trying to double the ball.
Horning takes a shot. Nice save by Backman.
Nice save.
French now trying to get it to McNulty.
I don't think Coach Kilgore is really looking for a shot at that time. Possession right now is more important than the shot, only if you got the easy layup.
Flag goes down.
We have a slash on the part of Western Maryland, and now Mount St. Mary's will be man advantage for 1 minute, and things are looking a little bleak here now for Western Maryland with 3:06 to go in the fourth quarter.
And down a man, and earlier in the game, the teams weren't really taking advantage of their extra player situations, but we've seen that change in the second quarter and here in the second half as well. It's been a big factor in this game today.
A lot of penalties here the second half. Maybe the emotions have picked up. This happens in a rivalry like this, and if you play EMO, it's fun. You get to go in and score and shoot and get your name in the paper, but for the down one guys, it's a lot of dirt.
A lot of work.
It's a tough day for you.
Dave Heritage will serve for Western Maryland.
And you're going to see Mount St. Mary's work that time completely.
They're in no hurry. French now with the ball. Over to
another
Hoffman.
flag, Brian.
Flag goes down. A shot taken by McNulty. Fires it wide right of the cage.
And this is going to be a discussion between the referees right now.
Things getting intense right now, and officials discussing things. 2:46 to play. We'll get the call momentarily.
Three referees you see on the field today are very experienced referees. They've been in alternate, been refereeing for many, many years in the Baltimore area.
Several levels. Discussing things at the scores table right now. The head official. A little unclear of the situation right now.
We can tell you, Mounties are going to be still extra, man, and another whistle.
And the timeout is called by Coach Kilgore.
Coach Kilgore wants to talk it over with the ref.
So we'll get things straightened out here. It's still a 4-goal contest, and we'll take a break here on Prestige Cablevision Sports. Along with Randy Dace, I'm Brian McLean. Our score with 2:45 to play in the contest. It's the Mount 15, Western Maryland 11.
Would you like to play tennis and have fun? Blue Ridge Tennis Camp, located at Mount St. Mary's College in Emmitsburg, Maryland, features lessons for both juniors and adults from a staff of skilled professionals. Perhaps you're a beginner who wants to develop your game, or you might want to become a serious tournament player. Enjoy daily private coaching and videotaped analysis. Sound exciting? Call Blue Ridge Tennis Camp and come to the mountains to play. 1-week sessions, 2-hour mini-camp weeks, or daily lessons are available.
Lauren Bacall, Robert Mitchum, Angelica Houston, and Top Gun's Anthony Edwards are magical, mystical, and whimsical in a delightful film by John Huston, the electrifying Mr. North. It's thumbs up from Gene Siskel for the star-filled Mr. North on Viewer's Choice.
A timeout taken by Coach Kilgore here in the late going. The Mountaineers with possession right now and the lead, a 4-goal lead with 2:45 to play. And it just seemed when Western Maryland could get back within 2 or 3, Janet, they just couldn't quite get over that hump.
They ran into another brick wall or humps. It's been a tough day for Western Maryland, but boy, you got to give them credit. They've never given up yet.
They didn't quit. An impressive third period when they scored 2 or 3 very quick goals to stay in the contest. On the offensive exchange now, this is McNulty for Mount St. Mary's, out to French. And they're being very, very patient. The clock, their ally right now.
I think Coach Kilgore remind his players that, hey, possession, the clock's on our side. Let's not take the big crank, only the layup.
Across the slot, shot is taken. And it's off to the right. Shot was taken by Mount St. Mary's Willie Hoffman.
Mount St. Mary's interfering with the goalkeeper eyes in the crease area. Possession will now be given to Western Maryland. They're going to have to clear the ball.
Pointing will come out for Brian Miller for the Mount. And now a clear here.
And there's your Gilman.
By Walton. Taken away by Hoffman. Now Fulham. Getting possession for Western Maryland. Good roll dodge there.
Fulham does it all. He's got the long stick. He was down on the down one.
McCook, the shot, and score for Western Maryland. Don't count the green dares out. Jeff Downer scoring a 3-goal game now. 15-12 with 2:07 to play.
Amazing thing about that, Brian, is Downer had the long stick because he was on down one defense. He came in and he scored. And again, as we've been saying all afternoon, Western Maryland has not given up yet.
Downer, one of the co-captains, along with Bill Hallett, scoring 15 goals and 6 assists last year, scoring there to make it a 3-goal contest. We'll take a timeout here on Prestige. 2:07 to play in the 4th quarter, and it's now a 3-goal game. Mount St. Mary's 15, Western Maryland 12.
Lauren Bacall, Robert Mitchum, Angelica Houston, and Top Gun's Anthony Edwards are magical, mystical, and whimsical in a delightful film by John Huston, the electrifying Mr. North. It's thumbs up from Gene Siskel for the star-filled Mr. North on Viewer's Choice.
Taylor Bridal and Tuxedo Shops, located in Martin's Westminster and in Martin's West Baltimore, has all the popular gowns as shown in 17 magazines. We have all the tuxedo styles by Christian Dior, After Six, and Pierre Cardin, as well as fashion ties, cummerbunds, in many colors to match your date's gown. Doesn't your prom or special occasion deserve the security of our Avenue Tailor's experience?
Along with Randy Dace, this is Brian McLean back at Bear Stadium on the hill at Western Maryland College in Westminster. 15-12 is our score. The Mountaineers ahead by 3. The not quitting Western Maryland Green Terror still in this, but time running out right now. 2:07 to play. And from the face-off, it's Fulham and Keene.
They're like a boxer in the 15th round. They just keep on throwing those punches.
Getting it now is Vinny Finari. Pass too tall for McCook, lost along the far side, and the Mount will get possession.
Mount St. Mary's will now be clearing the ball. Western Maryland's going to have to put pressure on the ball, possibly double the ball here on the clear. And if it comes down to the offensive end from Mount St. Mary's, you're going to see a lot of doubling on the ball. It's called go for broke.
1:58 to play.
And you're seeing a complete 10-man ride. Western Maryland's pulled their goalkeeper out. He is guarding the closest tackman.
Willie Hoffman is guarded by McCook.
Perfectly executed by Western Maryland. Put pressure. Now they have possession of the ball.
Nice job by McCook. He will set up the offense in a few moments.
Again, both teams are very well coached. Exactly what you'd expect would happen in key situations. And it's fun to watch a game like this.
McCook, Fulham, Downer, Finari, both Finaris along with Hallett on the offensive end for Western Maryland. They need to score very quickly, down 3. Great pass in the slot there to Hallett. Hallett can get the shot to go, however. Finari now with it. Down to 1:30 to play. Jeff Downer now setting things up. Jeff Downer around his man, McLaughlin. Shot off to the right. Goaltender Plott hustling, and he'll earn the possession for Mount St. Mary's.
Again, they had 2 great opportunities, but just couldn't cash there in. The idea of basically concentrating, eyeing that ball into the stick and getting that shot just didn't work out for the last 2 passes there. So again, Western Maryland must put the pressure right on Mount St. Mary's.
It will swarm on the ball handler as Hoffman will set things up. McCook.
Mount St. Mary's wisely gives the ball to one of their middies to try to run it out, and now they're being patient, bringing up the near sideline.
John Weiss, who's had a good game defensively, trying to clear it up ahead. But Downer getting it for Western Maryland. Down to 1 minute to play. 15-12, the Mountaineers. McCook. Reynolds defender takes a nice pass to Howard. Howard scores. It's a 2-goal contest. Don't count the Green Terrors out. Bill Howard with the goal. It's a 2-goal contest. 15-13 with 52 seconds on the clock.
Very pretty look there by Jeff Downer over to Hallett. Again, Hallett is involved in all the action. He's going to score, he's going to pass off, but Western Maryland will not quit. And the only thing that's going to probably hurt Western Maryland is the clock might get them.
Only 52 seconds on the clock. The clock is their enemy.
That's right.
They have 2 opponents right now. Within 2, 15-13. Something we haven't said all day, an important face-off here.
You're right, Brian. Another big face-off. And if he could just get a quick, fast break for Western Maryland, that's what they need.
Fulham's done a nice job today, along with the key. They control it here. This is Finari, Vinny.
Great opportunity.
Bill Howard inside to Finari. It's too tall to the left, and that along the end line.
Boy, had a layup and just put it over the top of the pipe. 38 seconds left to go, right, Brian?
38 seconds, a 2-goal contest. Howard now, he's guarded by Mosmiller. Keene coming into the game now for Mount St. Mary's. Howard around Mosmiller, takes the shot off to the left. Inside the crease is Plott. Thought he had it for a moment there. Mosmiller now being picked up by McCook.
Just what I would
And
anticipate.
a Gilman here. That's right.
Bides time.
Killed about 10 seconds, 20 seconds on the clock. They scramble forward along midfield. French and a host of Mountaineers. Now Western Maryland with possession. Down to 10, 9, 8, 7 seconds. Shot taken. And we're waiting for the official signal. Penalty will be assessed, I believe, against the Mounts. We'll have to wait and see what the official call is. Fulham will check out for Mazeritz, and Hospelhorn back into the game for Finari for Western Maryland. Or, I'm sorry, Downer coming off.
Things are a little confusing here on the field. I thought Western Maryland was going to score one more time. The defenseman could have looked off to the left. I think Howe was wide open, but sometimes the defensemen get a little excited when they see the cage. And it looks like Mount St. Mary's is going to be down one man, but there's only 5 seconds to go. Tough situation for Western Maryland.
So the clock will get the Green Terrors, as you said, Randy. Time just running out on them, but they're up within 2. They've made it a contest. And Finari taking a shot off to the left, and that will do it from Bear Stadium. A good ball game. Mount St. Mary's winning by 2, but they could not put away Division III Western Maryland. The Green Terrors very spunky, so to speak, and would not quit, would not die, and we saw a good ball game. Mount St. Mary's improving now to 3-3 overall, and Western Maryland dropping to 2-5. Along with Randy Dace, I'm Brian McLean. We'll be back with a post-game recap in just a moment. Our final score from Western Maryland College. It was Mount St. Mary's 15, Western Maryland 13.
Here at Heison's, we're not
hit through the right side into right field. So Melvin, 3 for 4 on Sunday, now 2 for 2 tonight.
Using the whole field, went to left, now to right.
The third baseman, Craig Worthington.
It's an interesting thing you pointed out in spring training, one of the problems, and if you look at Bob's year last year with the Giants, he was sent down after a brief slump early in the year to Phoenix, came back and hit 8 home runs with 27 RBIs, but only hit a little over 230. As you look at Craig Worthington, big swing. He said he's cut it down, and it seems to have worked. Curveball, strike 1.
That ball he hit to right field is like he was just protecting the plate more than anything else, and he hit it sharply on the turf and into right field.
The Bob Boone swing.
Can't divorce your family when your in-laws are
0-2.
Tommy McGraw calls it ego. Some players just won't let their ego, they let their ego get in the way of trying to do things that are going to help them. You know, like go the other way. There's Tommy McGraw in the middle. No, I'm sorry, with the glasses, yeah, on the right-hand side.
Strike 3, so Craig Worthington takes strike 3. Bannister comes back with a stellar inning with 2 strikeouts, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th.
Dropping to 2-5 overall, and of course they remain 1-1 in the MAC, this being a non-conference game. A couple of things to look at, Randy. I think it appeared Western Maryland was coming back into the game in the 3rd and 4th quarter. They scored a couple of quick unanswered goals, and Randy Kilgore called a very much needed timeout, and they responded by getting a couple of goals themselves and just putting away Western Maryland for the most part. Western Maryland could not get over that hump that we were talking about, and I thought that was a big play in the second half.
Western Maryland is very spunky. They kept on fighting back. It's interesting, we previewed before the game that Division I Mount St. Mary's is going against the little guys, Western Maryland, but the Western Maryland showed as the little guys with the spunk, and Mount St. Mary's showed a little bit of the maturity as the big boys that, okay, we can push it up 4 or 5 goals. You're going to get close, we'll push a little bit further. But it was a well-played game, a little sloppy at times, but a very exciting contest. And I guess, as we said before, the clock ended the day for Western Maryland. Maybe 2 or 3, 4 minutes, and they might have won the ball game.
I think we can also credit the defense of Mount St. Mary's somewhat. John Weiss, I thought, did a real fine job on Bill Howett, at least in the first half, containing Howett. Bill got involved in the offense a little more in the second half, but John Weiss had a big game for the Mountaineers.
Weiss of Mount St. Mary's and also Mosmiller both play real tough. They're strong kids on the defense. I thought both goalkeepers, Bachman from Western Maryland and Plott from Mount St. Mary's, were very steady in the goal. And it was a real nice game. I think you also have to look at the face-off of Western Maryland. You had Fallon, who worked hard on the face-offs, Phil Key for Western Maryland. They got the face-offs in the middle of that 3rd quarter and late in the 4th and kept that momentum on Western Maryland's side when they were coming back each time.
That was somewhat interesting. Phil Key, who has controlled about 70% of his face-offs this year, did a good job in the first half. And then Mike Fulham, who I thought played a great ball game for Western Maryland, he controlled a lot of face-offs, which was critical in getting them back into the contest. That's how they were scoring very quickly from the face-off. Fulham was all over the place today on both ends of the field.
What a workhorse. Looking back at the game now, all I see is Fulham getting a ground ball. I see him shooting. I see him on the face-off. And he's only 5'7", I think 150 pounds wet. So it shows if you got a lot of heart and a lot of guts, you can do anything on the lacrosse field.
Penalties playing a big role today as well. I thought a lot of goals were scored with the advantages, and that was a big factor. Well, Mount St. Mary's getting the most of that as well.
Second half, a lot of penalties, and both EMOs sometimes not capitalize on the situation. There are some drop passes, which give both coaches gray hairs. But overall, it was just a very competitive, emotional game because of the proximity. Again, the rivalry. I think you can have the two best or worst teams, and you're going to have a tight ball game because of that pride in the area here.
So we saw two well-coached ball clubs, and we saw a good rivalry. Again, Mount St. Mary's from just down the road in Emmitsburg, and of course Western Maryland here on the hill in Westminster. A good ball game. It's finally over, and Mount St. Mary's knocking off Western Maryland 15-13. They're now improving their record to 3-3. They will next play this Wednesday against UMBC. Western Maryland dropping their record to 2-5 overall. They will be back here this Wednesday taking on Dickinson. So that'll do it for us here from Western Maryland College. Before we go, I would like to thank a very special thanks to Scott Deitch, the Sports Information Director here at Western Maryland College, for his help today with our telecast. Many, many thanks to you, Scott. And Randy, very nicely done today. Your debut with Prestige, the Towson High lacrosse coach, nicely done today. It was a lot of fun.
I had a great time, Brian. I enjoyed it. It's nice working with you, and anytime you have another game, I'll gladly come up.
Okay.
I enjoy it here in sunny Western Maryland.
Sunny and warm, Western Maryland, right. Last time it rained on us today. We do get it in under kind of chilly conditions, but nonetheless a good ball game today. We'll wrap it up here from Scott Bear Stadium. For Randy Dace, I'm Brian McLean. And once again, our final score, it was Mount St. Mary's 15, Western Maryland 13. So long, everybody.